Oracle e-business suite is still going strong, and the latest version, release 12.2.10, was released a few months ago. I recently installed the application and I just want to share the installation notes with you in this video. So let's get started. So the core steps are, first of all, you need to download the software. You then need to extract the files. You need to create an installation file, and then you want to prepare the installation. After that, we'll go through installing the software, and then we'll look at the post-installation steps. And then after that, we'll want to have a look at the next step. So we'll be covering all of these in this video. So let's start with the downloading of the software. So the first thing to do is go to edelivery.oracle.com, and you can register on the website. If you don't have an account, you can set one up. It's free. And once you've set up your account, you then go in and you enter your username and your password for the Oracle account. When you get to the software delivery page, so the first thing you want to select is the Oracle VM appliance. Just put that in the search box and select release as the option, and you'll be confronted with a list of values. So you just need to select Oracle VM appliance for Oracle e-business suite, and that will give you a short list of the available products that you can download. So you need to select the 12.2.10 and then put that into the shopping cart. You'll be able to see that at the top right hand corner of the screen. So select continue or click on continue, and you'll be faced with a page where you can then select the application that you want to download and the platforms or languages. So we're going to select Linux for our Oracle VM appliance for Oracle e-business suite. Next thing to do once you click on continue is to look at the agreement. The key thing to note here is that this is a trial software, and it's mainly for use for 30 days. And once you've read through the agreement, I know most of us don't, but just have a quick glance through, scroll to the bottom, click on the I've reviewed and accept the Oracle license agreement, click on continue, and then you'll be faced with a list of the individual files that you can then download. The total list of files will be displayed, and you can then click on the select all to download, and then you will have what is really called a download manager. So you can use the download manager, you can download the download manager, install it, and then you're able to use this to progress with the download. So select a folder on your machine or your computer, and then you'll be able to see all the files. It does take a while to download depending on the speed of your internet connection, and you will see all the files after you've downloaded them into the specific folder. There's about 38 files to download. So next, after we've downloaded the software, is to extract the files. They are all zipped, so we need to unzip them. So use your unzip software to do that. Most OS would have the standard software, or maybe something like WinZip or WinRAR. So quite a number of free softwares that you can use to unzip files. So you unzip the files, and you will be able to see the list of all the unzipped files in the folder that you have selected to unzip the files. Once the files are unzipped, you'll be able to see all the .ova, .001, .02, .03, and so on. So these are all the files that are being unzipped into maybe some kind of folder. Next, we want to create what is called the OVA file. OVA is the Oracle virtual appliance, and from all the files that we have unzipped, which are the old OVA files, we want to extract them and pull them together into one single file. And this is the command that you will use to do that. I will place it in the comments box down below, so you can check in the additional information down below, and you'll be able to see. You can just copy and paste this into your respective area where you're going to then extract them. So to extract, well, not extracting, but putting the files together, concatenating them together, you have to use a command called copy. And I'm using this example on Windows because most people use Windows. So this is the command. Open your command prompt and then just copy and paste it, hit enter, and then all the files will be combined into one install.ova file. So that's the file that you need to then import. So this is the file, this is the OVA file that you would have. It's about 72 gig in size, so it's quite a big file. And once you've reviewed the file, then we are ready to start the installation. So to install, you want to then import the OVA file into what is called a VirtualBox. So to do that, you first of all need to download the current version of VirtualBox. So you go on the internet, do a search for VirtualBox, and you should be able to click on download to download the file, and have a look at the option that is for your own OS. So most people would have Windows or OS X or Linux, and then just select the one you want, download the software, and you should have this software displayed once you've downloaded and opened it. So next you want to go into your host network manager. We just want to check a few things in the standard setup that you have. I just want to point out a few things to you. So the first thing you want to do is create what is called a host only adapter, or you want to amend one of the existing ones. So to do that, you just select File, Host Network Manager, and the adapter that I'm going to be using for my own installation, or that I've used for my installation, is called the host only, and I've added one manually. It's 192.168.1.10, and with my IP4 network mask in there, 255.255.255.0. So you can create a new one or amend an existing one. And in the DHCP server settings, you can you need to enable DHCP server. You can see that you've got the 192.168.1.0. So have a look at the settings that I have in the server address, server mask, and then I've got the lower address bound as 192.168.1.11. I literally just want to force it to use 192.168.1.11, and this is the IP address for my server. So next we want to look at the other settings. Actually, before that, let's just import the appliance first, and then we'll look at the other settings. So to do that, you just select the appliance to import appliance, and you then go to where you've got your OVA file, and then do the import. So that's where I've got the OVA file, and I want to import the appliance into the VirtualBox. So really just importing my OVA into VirtualBox, and boom, the installation is done for us. So select the appliance settings. So that's the default settings that we have. And the next thing we want to do is click on import. I mean, depending on the speed of your machine, it could take between a few minutes and maybe up to about 30 minutes or so. I've seen it run up to about half an hour or even longer on some machines. It depends on the memory, it depends on the number of things you have running, and there's a lot of different things that determine how long this will take. So import the appliance, and then you would see a new line in your VM manager. So here I've got one called EBS 2.2.10. So you can see that's 2.2.10. So that's the one. And the import is complete once that's done. And I just want to now look at some of the default settings. So some of the default settings in the general tab, you would see the name, the type, and also you've got some of the other bits as well. For example, your version number and so on. But then also notice that you've got some invalid settings detected. So we're going to remove that in a minute. So to do that, we go to the display tab on the left hand side, and we want to change the graphics controller to a VMS VGA. So once you've done that, that message will disappear. So next we want to also review the host adapter. So review the host adapter that we've added. So that's the host only adapter. Note the MAC address, because the MAC address that you have should also match the MAC address that you have on the server, and also the IP address that we looked at earlier on. This is 192.168.1.11. So that's what will be used by the server, and also the MAC address that you have here, even though the masking is slightly different, but well, in terms of the format, but we'll have a look at that in a few minutes. So have a look at the network, have a look at the system settings, and you can also have a look at some of the other ones. Normally, I would disable the optical disk, and I'll just leave the hard drive only on, and I'll disable everything else. But that's just for me. Also have a look at the memory. The default memory is about 16 gig. I've seen it work on less, maybe 12 gig, but the recommended is 16 gig, but that's the default setting. So once you've checked the different settings after the appliance is imported, you then want to now do the software installation. This is on the server. So let's have a look at the installation of the software on the server. So the first thing to do is just start the server. So the moment you start the server, by clicking on the start server icon, then what would happen is that the server will open up and it would start, and then you can enter some of the defaults. So for example, you need to enter passwords for the Oracle user, for the APPL MGR user, and also for the root user. I mean, I always recommend using the same password for all of them, because just in case you forget the password, I mean, it's not easy to recover it. I don't even know if you can recover root passwords if you forget. But anyway, I'm not a Linux expert, but that's, I mean, my recommendation is use the same password for all three. You're only going to use this for learning purposes, so you might as well just use the same password for all of them. So, and then it will ask you to enter passwords for each of these, and also as the setup is going on, you can also review the MAC address. You can note the host name and the IP address as well. So in this example that we have here, the host name is apps.example.com. You can see the MAC address, and you can also see the IP address. This should match what we have in the adapter. So next, you just let the installation run by itself. I'm just going to make a note of some of the things that would happen. So first of all, you'll see the VM configuration summary. The database will start, and then it then goes on to starting the database. There's a few bits and pieces that would happen. At this stage, there's nothing for you to do but just to make note of a few things. For example, you've got the database alias, which is EBS CDB in this case, or EBS DB, because some of you may want to connect to the server using tools like Toad, SQL Developer, so you need to know the database credential, name of the database, and so on. So you start the database, and then the next thing you want to do is you want to configure the applications environment. The system will configure the applications environment, and then it will continue. It will update the context file. So again, all this you don't need to worry, except you are a DBA and you may want to do some stuff in that area. And then it will configure the application top for each of the different apps. So that takes a while for each of the different areas. And after that, the auto config will be completed. Next, we want to specify the name. Now, to configure vision, the vision environment. Now, this is very, very important. A lot of people have contacted me in the past to say that they just press enter, the vision is not working and so on. But the main reason is that they haven't typed in vision when they get to this point. So you have to actually type in the word vision and press enter. If you don't do that, then it wouldn't install the vision for you. So vision is a demonstration database that you can use for a lot of setups, config, and just to look at how the application is set up. So remember to enter vision. And after that, the setup is complete. I mean, that just takes a few seconds, really. Just press enter after typing vision and boom, setup is complete. So next, you want to restart the server. So to restart the server, I normally use the command shutdown -R now, and that's just the restart. And then next we want to do a bit of tidy up. So in tidying up, we want to first of all go into our host file, and we want to add the IP address and the host name as well. So go into the host file, enter the IP address and also the host name in this manner. Remember that the host file is held in Windows System 32 drivers etc hosts, and this is where you want to enter the additional information. You also want to ping this server from Windows. So from Windows, go to your command prompt and ping apps. Remember that you've entered those details in the host file, and the moment you ping it, you should have your you get a reply from the server. So next you want to start the application. So on your browser, go in and type in apps.example.com:8000, and it would have started if it, I mean, for the first time, it takes a while, but if you see a screen that looks like this, just wait a few more minutes and then type in the details again, and then it should come up with the home page. Now, for release 12.2.10, you would have to enable the demo users. You won't be able to log in. So to do that, we need to jump back into the server, and then we need to go into CD. So at the command prompt, go into CD, just type CD at the command prompt, logging in as your Oracle user, CD /U01 install -apps, capital APPS /scripts, and you want to do /enable demo users.sh. So the moment you type that in, it would actually start to create the demo users. And again, you can also enter the password you want to use for your demo users, and it will all be created. And then you can then go back to your browser and type in the username and password. For example, for operations, type in the username and the password you've selected or you created, and then it will be able to get into the page. Next part of our setup is to set up the Java elements for the form-based application, the Java forms. You may need to set your browser so that it will be able to trust the application. So you need to set the trusted apps, and then you also need to update Java if needs be, and then you'll be able to run the application. You may get a security warning to start with, accept, and then you'll be able to open up the application. And that's basically how to install. I've just run through very quickly my installation notes, And the key thing now is the next steps. What goes on from here in terms of implementing. So within the next steps, I mean, I have a course that you can actually subscribe to. I have a free one that gives you some of the outlook on, well, some of the features and so on. And I have one for a bootcamp. And if you want to join the bootcamp, again, I've got the details in the link below. And I've also got some coupon codes, that you can use to get it at a discount. And for the free one, is just straightforward. Click on it and you have access to it. So thank you very much for watching, and remember to like and subscribe to this page. There'll be more videos coming soon, and you can also have a look. I've got a lot of other videos on this channel. My aim is for everyone to do well as Oracle consultants. Let me know if you want me to create some more videos which relates to certain areas of Oracle financials, and either the cloud or EBs, and let me know in the comments below and I'll respond. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.